Little Louie Vega, the man, the legend, a true house master at work, is here in Cariocas. Welcome, Louie.
Oh, thank you. It's so good to be here. Good to be here at Cariocas.
We love you very much here and in Greece in general, and we see you often here.
Well, I come here once a year, and it always feels like a family affair,
Nice. Tell us, how do you balance, I would say, being so original to your roots and at the same time your music, after all these years, is still fresh and innovative?
Wow. Well, I think everything works in a vicious cycle where, I travel a lot, so I get to see and feel what the people feel, and at the same time I have my residencies at home, so I have the crowd that I've been playing for many years and in different places around the world, so I kind of have a good sense to get a feeling from the people of what they like. And when I make my music, of course I make it with true passion, with love, and always coming from the heart. So the first thing before I even play it out is if it feels good in the studio when I'm making it, and I get goosebumps and the feelings, then that is a good sign that the record or the track or the song is gonna do well. But I think really just the passion is there. So if the passion is there, I'm always gonna want to make music and create. And I'm very creative, and I have a lot of creative people around me. So there's always great ideas.
Fantastic, and I have to tell you, I get goosebumps every time I hear your new work. So this is great. What about, how do you see, though, you've been all these years in the scene, and you've been all the time number one. How do you see the scene today compared to how it used to be in house music? It has evolved a lot. What is your comment on that?
Well, first of all, I don't see myself as number one, but I think that what's important is that I and the people around me, we've created our own lane of music, of style, and what we do. So I think the consistency, is important for us. But I think just creatively and what comes from the soul, is what it just happens. You know what I mean? So for me, music is forever going to be changing. It has to evolve. So there's times when the moods are different, and I think we can well adapt to those differences in sounds, but we give our vibe and our flavor within that style. So I think that's what really keeps it interesting, because we can do a full orchestrated record, or we can do just a minimal dub, and just all the different artists that I have around me, between Josh Milan, Anane, Kenny Dope, Axel Tosca, all my musicians and Elements of Life, my son Niko Vega, who's now making music. I think that all of these things are keeping me fresh and keeping my mind always turning, and I think that that's the way we make music. We don't make music because a certain sound or style is hot. You can get inspiration, but we won't copy something, you know what I mean? For us, it's very important to develop what we do from scratch.
Wow. Take us a little bit back in your influences, from how you started. What were your main influences, and how this involved your, your making music, your production?
Well, I came from a special time where I was a 70s kid, so I was born in the Bronx, and I had two sisters that went to all the discos. They were at the Loft in 1969, like one of them, so, they go way back to Nicky Siano at the Gallery, to the Paradise Garage, to the Loft, and all the New York City clubs that grew on after that. So they're dancers. So I think that I've heard a lot of the underground music that came from those DJs back in New York at that time that wasn't on the radio. But at the same time, I was influenced by Earth, Wind and Fire, Quincy Jones, Stevie Wonder. I mean, you name it. You know, Steely Dan even. I mean, you know, Led Zeppelin. I mean, you know, all this music we grew up with in the Bronx, in New York, you know, was very important for me in the future because, you know, salsa music, you know, having an uncle who was a salsa singer, a great salsa singer, you know, that also brought another element. I think all of these things and hip hop, when it, you know, was in its infancy, in its early stages, I was there when Africa Bambaataa, Jazzy J, Red Alert, Africa Islam used to throw these jams down in the projects, which was one block down from where I lived. So I got to see all the break dances, and there was not even hip hop at the time. It was break beats. You know, it was jazz breaks, funk breaks, soul, you know, rock. It was all that, punk rock. And these DJs, they took that music and played all the best parts and just knew how to extend them, how to, you know, scratch them and cut them up and, you know, and make it exciting. So the block parties as well, and the early disco, funk, soul, you know, the break beats, you know, a lot of that was happening just in the street. When you would walk down the block, you see DJ playing, the street was closed where I lived, and there was a party going on, you know. So a lot of that was very influential for me, and all those things made me who I am today and helped to inspire a lot of the music that I started making in the future, you know.
Wow. What are future plans in production?
Future plans in production right now, Kenny Dope and I, as Masters at Work, we're producing Brian Jackson, and Brian Jackson Brian Jackson is the musical partner of Gil Scott-Heron, who had passed, you know, he passed away some years back, but Brian Jackson wrote a lot of tunes together with Gil Scott-Heron. So we produced an entire album with him, of course tributing the king Gil Scott-Heron, and Brian Jackson playing all this amazing music that he played back in the days. And we're featuring a lot of great artists on there. We have Black Thought from the Roots, Rashawn Patterson, Raheem Devon, Lisa Fisher, Moody Man, Rich Medina, you know, all the spoken words done by them, you know, as well. So, you know, it's a really an amazing project. You got to imagine Brian Jackson meets Nuyorican soul, and that's what that is. You know, live strings, live horns. I mean, we went all out. So it's coming out, I think, in 2025 on BBE. Pete signed, you know, Brian Jackson, and commissioned us to work on that project. Also, we have a Masters at Work working on albums. Our album, Nuyorican Soul as well. We also have Anane's remixes come in from the disco EP, Take a Ride. You know, Dimitri from Paris, Moose T, Luca Moplin, Masters at Work, Two Soul Fusion. Everybody got together, Jazzy Jeff, and remixed some of the tunes off of Anane's disco EP that's coming for the fall. And now we have Music Is My Life, which is my new, the new remixes by Dave Lee and Masters at Work, which is out right now, just last week. Doing very well, so I'm really excited about that. And that features Unlimited Touch. And we got a lot of remixers coming together to do some of the MAW record stuff, the classics. We got Lude, which was remixed by Rocco, did an amazing job. Also, Masters at Work will do one too. We got Dennis Quinn, who did Shouting Out, which is actually Lude. That's the same song, same record. You know, Dennis Quinn is on it, did an amazing remix too. So, you know, we Jaden Thompson, who did Mafiki Zolo Loot. You know, so it's really nice that we reached out to the different generations of remixers and DJs to come in and do their interpretation of some of our songs. And then we have more lost tapes. We're up to number 17 now. Wow, we've been putting them out every month for the last 17 months. And we have releases all the way till 2025. a lot of remixes out now. Jose James, I just finished that came out like a few weeks ago. It's called Saturday Night. He's a great artist, great jazz artist. Elements of Life is on the road again. You know, we're performing at Lincoln Center in New York on August 8th in a few weeks. And we're also doing a We Out Here festival for Giles Peterson, which is going to be wonderful because Brian Jackson is also performing with his band, and so is Dee Dee Bridgewater. So we asked Dee Dee Bridgewater if she would come on stage with us, and she said yes. So we have Brian Jackson coming on stage with us, Moody Man, and Dee Dee Bridgewater. Going to join Elements of Life as well, Josh Milan, Cindy Mizell, and the whole all-star crew. So, you know. And we're doing New York with the Blue Notes in February. We're going to do it again. We did it last year. It was a big success, so now they doubled up all the shows. So it's really cool. We're going to do Manchester, we're going to do London, and Tokyo. So super exciting times. Elements of Life. We have a new album as well for 2025 that's coming. So look out for that with a lot of amazing guests too.
That's great that at least you go to other countries to do this show, because for us here, for example, it's impossible to see it. It's difficult to visit New York, you know. So maybe you should bring it at least in Athens.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope one day. I hope we would love to come here. You know, we're doing more. So I think with the new album, we'll be able to spread our wings more around the world. You know.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, little Louie Vega, with us. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. I just want to say thank you to everybody at Cariocas, because I've been coming here now for years, you know, and it's become an annual family affair. And I see now there's a lot of wonderful people that I've seen over the years and new people. So it feels really good to come together once a year in this very special place, which is Cariocas. Oh yeah, actually I forgot one thing also. Some new hot music coming on Defected Records. Group is called Visions. They had a big hit a few years ago, and they have a new song called Times Are Changing. We did some remixes and they're super hot, coming out soon. Also Tonight by the Muscle Cars, who are a young duo from Brooklyn. They are on BBE Records. They have a new album out now. Really wonderful album, beautiful album. And I remixed a song called Tonight that you'll hear tonight. It's gonna make an impact. Also check out the NV dubs, please.
Thank you.